This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
No Wes Kerr at the moment. Just Justin Jarrett setting sail with you on a Wednesday night edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Wes is on his way. He got held up, but he'll be joining us shortly, and we have lots of friends stopping by as well. Although it's starting to feel like one of those Murphy's Law kind of shows where everything that can go wrong will. So be on the lookout for internet gremlins and stick around to see what shenanigans might unfold over the next hour or so. But Wes will be along shortly. I'm Justin Jarrett, LowcoSports Lowdown Wednesday night. Not a ton going on locally at this time, kind of the calm before the storm, but we do have some Legion baseball games going on tonight. We'll check in on those. But we have great guests lined up. We have Philadelphia Waterdogs star Kieran McArdle. He has started up the Lowcountry Rush youth lacrosse program here in the Lowcountry and has got it off the ground. We met him a while back when they had their opening clinic and got to know him a little bit. He's coming on tonight. They just started their season, and Wes is on his way in too. So that's good stuff. Kieran going to be joined also by Brooks van Esselstyn, friend of the show. Welcome, Wes. Brooks van Esselstyn is doing a little coaching with Coach Kieran this summer, and in fact, Brooks has popped into the green room. We'll get him in here shortly. And like I said, not a lot going on right now. Kind of a slow night. We got a couple of Legion baseball games that we'll check in on later on. But a couple of headlines, real quick. We got other friends in the. Who's that? I can't tell. They've got a helmet on. No, I know Brooks, but Brooks brought somebody else on camera too. Let's get him in here. Let's see what's going on over there. What is going on over here? Who?
How's it going? Here at the Savannah Men's League. If we can change cams, I'm not sure, but we're here playing lacrosse right now at Calvary Day.
There we go. All right, did you just wrap it up?
Middle of the second half right now. We're playing decent game. First games of the year, so it's pretty fun. For us who play in Bluffton, it's a lot of old high school buddies and guys we played against.
That's great. So we're getting live look-ins from the Savannah Men's League Lacrosse. Kieran McArdle going to join us in a little bit, Brooks. And how cool has it been for you to get to know Kieran and now get to work with him? You're coaching with him a little bit this summer, right?
Oh yes, sir. It's been awesome. Just having someone who knows so much about lacrosse and has been involved in the game at such a high level for so long. It's been awesome just to pick his brain on just every aspect of the game. It's been amazing.
Awesome stuff. You just wrapped up your freshman season at Florida Tech. How'd everything go in year one down there?
It was good. A lot of growing to the college game. It is ridiculously fast. So it takes some adaptation, definitely, but it's super fun. Love playing college sports, and it's been a blast.
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah. This is going to be a cool experience for you. I mean, you have had quite the journey. You played both basketball and you were a stud lacrosse player over at Maid River. How cool is it to continue playing this sport that you love so much at a higher level?
It's amazing. It's been my dream since I was in middle school, and since I decided, hey, I'm going to take lacrosse seriously, it was, okay, I'm playing college. It's been my dream since that day, and it's to be able to walk out every day. And when I wake up, the first thing I do is go play lacrosse. It's amazing. It's the only thing I want to do.
Well, you're out there doing it tonight. You've got theoretically the summer off, but you're out there playing lacrosse with your pals. So that definitely shows the love that you have for the sport. And now it's got to be cool to go out and play with those guys because it's kind of lower stakes, kind of like back to old Sandlot love of the game type stuff, right?
Oh, definitely. It's a lot of moves I'd get yelled at for doing in high school, but I can in college especially get yelled at for them, but I can do it now. I can do every stupid showboaty thing and maybe let up a little bit and not chase the ball as hard as I probably should, but no, it's super fun. It's a great time.
Got to save that energy for offense in the men's league.
Oh, definitely. And then if I even remotely know you do something, I'm making fun of you immediately. Like you're the GM of my team. I'm making fun of you. It's a great environment, super fun.
Yeah. I've had the similar experience playing men's baseball. It's just a bunch of guys who missed the game, getting back out there and doing it again. But so who all you got over? Who'd you put on camera with you earlier? I couldn't make them out.
So that was Andrew Dromsky. Just finished up his sophomore year at Wingate. Played at Mayerville with me.
Yeah.
And then so we have on our team Jacob Bollinger, who plays at Embry-Riddle from Mayerville.
Yeah.
And then Zarek Miller, the I guess
The
now
keeper.
former May River goalie. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Very good. Well, hey, man, do you need to get back in the game?
Probably, maybe. I might take a run out here.
Hey, get back in the game. Hop on with us again after the game, and we'll get the two of you in here together.
Yes, sir. Sounds great. Thank you.
Good to see you, Brookie.
Good to see you, too.
Van Esselstyn checking in live from the Savannah Men's Lacrosse League. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. He was so excited to jump on with us tonight. He's like, I got a game tonight, but if you're okay with it, I'll join from there. I was like, heck yeah, man. Let's do it. So we'll be talking a lot of lacrosse tonight with Brooks popping back in after the game and Kieran McArdle joining us, which is going to be really cool. But as I was mentioning, a couple of headlines from today. May River named their boys basketball coach over on Twitter. I saw that come out. That they named Kyle Bennett. I did a little research on him. He's been at Walton Verona Independent Schools in Kentucky for 30 years. He was the basketball coach for 13 years, and then he's been the AD for the past 16. So a guy with a lot of experience, a veteran guy who brings some athletic administration experience as well. So you'd think they'd probably slot him into like an associate AD role under Bigham. So that'd probably be a benefit to them as well. So we'll talk a little bit about that if you got something to say about it. But the other big headline, Isaiah Evans from Whale Branch, he'll be a senior this year, offensive lineman, Big Tots, they call him. He's a great kid. He's really funny. He got his first big offer from South Carolina State, and I think it's going to be first to many because he's got the body. He seems to have the attitude and the work ethic, and I think if he stays bought in, he's going to be the next big guy, big offensive lineman prospect to come out of Seabrook.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before where somebody jumps on one of our local guys, especially from the Seabrook area, Whale Branch, and others quickly follow suit. So you see it rolling quickly once you get that first one. A lot of them come in, but SC State, that's a school that we have seen be a home for several local guys before, and so that's a nice potential landing spot for him, and I'm sure he'll have a decision to weigh a couple other schools coming up in the future. But back to Bennett coming in for May River, I think that's a great move for the Shark program. A bunch of experience coming over there from Kentucky, both as an administrative role, but also as a coaching role. And that's kind of something that you need as a program to have that stability of someone who knows what it takes in a program like he has been in, heading over to a 4A school, which certainly has lofty expectations. This is a school that should that has the talent around here to recruit or to bring in players that around the school that can contribute. And
Yeah.
I mean, the talent is there. Now, can you find ways to bring it to the gym and produce the fruits from it? And
Right.
he's a guy that has shown that in his previous endeavors. So, and to have that experience is huge. I mean, you don't see external hires all the time, but I think this is a good time for it. And you're looking at what's the best possible hire. He certainly had to be at the top of the list, and just the experience, the resume, and what he has done in the past, and to be able to have that administrative opportunity as well as provide that experience as a coach at this level, I think is really important. And I think it's a great move from the Shark program because they have a lot of young, talented players that if they can find a way to fit them in the right spots, this team could be interesting to highlight throughout the year. So I'm excited to personally meet him and talk to him on Monday and to kind of see what he brings to the table for this May River program.
Yeah, they've got a meet and greet set for 6 p.m. Is that right? Monday over at the school. So I like that. I like the idea of the meet and greet. Let the community come out and meet the new coach and see what they're about and all that stuff. That's a cool thing. And the wins-loss record is not stellar if you dig in. There were a couple really good seasons. There were a lot of about 500 seasons, and there were a few rough seasons. But Kentucky Northern Kentucky in
Right.
particular, really basketball rich area, without knowing more about the school and the situation and the competition and all those kinds of things. It's hard to pass judgment on any kind of win-loss record, because at the end of the day, I mean, that's just one metric. It's not the whole picture. But I would venture to guess that Coach Bennett would tell you that the 16 years he's spent as an AD have helped him understand what makes a good high school basketball coach. Probably more than the 13 years he spent as a high school basketball coach, So I think it's an interesting thing to watch a guy who was a longtime coach, now been an AD for a long time, come back into it with that different perspective and different experience. And so, I mean, it's definitely a wizened veteran coach. And I think that's a good move. To try to build some stability. Reminds me a lot of the hire with the Bluffton boys a year ago, very similar type of hire, guy coming in from out of state who's had a track record of some, some success, and you'll see how it
I think what
plays out
Bluffton
for
has
him.
done, I think has sparked May River to really raise their standards as well, especially with Gregory and with the basketball hire that you mentioned, just the success of that school. I think
Coach Gabriel
May River to stay up to par, I think.
Anyway. Yeah, and it's great. That's what you want. I mean, that's iron sharpens iron. Competition makes everybody better. So I love to see that, definitely. But our next guest is on his way in. He should be here shortly. So let's shout out some sponsors. The MVP sponsors of Lowco Sports. It starts with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the real MVP and the official realtor of Lowco Sports. She's with Keller Williams, the Lowcountry. She'd love to help you find a place in the Lowco or upgrade your place in the Lowco. If you want to get into the Lowco real estate market, it's a great time to buy or sell, and she'd love to help you out. Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of the Lowco Sports, and my MVP of our household. Then we got Homegrown Home Inspections, the official home inspector of Lowco Sports, and our one of our best sponsors, longest sponsors, my friend Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the business when it comes to inspecting homes. They're going to make sure you're making a great investment, and if you're building a new home, you got to have Homegrown Home Inspections inspect it every step of the way to make sure it's built right. We've also got Hospice Care, the Lowcountry, the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County and the official hospice provider of Lowco Sports. They provide all kinds of great services: hospice care, palliative care, free grief counseling, and much more. And they are doing all kinds of great things all the time. They've got great fundraisers. They need some funds though. They got rained on at the yacht hop, so they could make up a little shortfall there. So if you got some donation dollars, send them over to Hospice Care, the Lowcountry, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And Mickelson Law Firm, our official real estate closing attorney, the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and our original sponsor since 2017. The Mickelson squad's been taking care of us, so we hope you'll call on them when you have legal needs. Those are our MVP sponsors, and now we welcome an MVP in his own right, a pro lacrosse player, a three-time All-Star. We got Kieran McArdle. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, you're fresh off the conference call, the Zoom call with the Waterdogs, which I thought that was kind of cool. That was our lead into our show, but that kind of leads into one of my questions, which is, obviously you're living here in the Lowcountry. You've put down roots. You started developing your Lowcountry Rush travel program, but you're still actively playing in the Premier Lacrosse League with the Waterdogs up in Philadelphia. So what's your life look like right now? Like you were off playing somewhere last weekend, you're off this weekend, but then you're in Philadelphia for 2 games next weekend. Do you guys practice? Like, what's this look like?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time. So pretty crazy and busy schedule. So the way it works, we were just at training camp for about 8 days. So that kind of goes for a week, which then leads up to our first game. So we spend our time up in Albany, New York at University of Albany, where we spent a week there. And then that opened up to our first game opening weekend that we just had this past weekend. But a typical week for me looks like, training and shooting on my own. I'll fly out Friday. We'll practice Friday night, play Saturday, and then fly home Sunday. So, obviously a lot of the work that you got to do is on your own to stay in shape and make sure your stick and shooting and everything is dialed for the weekend. But, the sport's growing. So hopefully, it becomes a traditional professional sport where you're living in the area and practicing 5-6 days a week, whatever it may be. So
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to get you a franchise down here then, so you can stay here year round.
Absolutely. I don't know if I'll be around anymore when that happens.
That's true. You're starting to get not toward the tail end necessarily, but you're getting deep into your career now. 2014 Rookie of the Year. You've been playing a number of years, 3 All-Star seasons with Florida Launch. Is that right? Florida Launch. And then the All-Pro season in 22, won a championship with Philadelphia. Tell us just a little bit about your kind of journey into the sport or into and through the sport.
Yeah, so grew up on Long Island. It's a hotbed for lacrosse. So honestly, had a stick in my hand before I could even remember. And then went to Connecticut High School, just a public school on Long Island. From there, went on to play my college ball at St. John's University, which is in New York as well. From there, got drafted into the MLL, which was the old professional lacrosse league that happened before the PLL, which then there was a merger, a few years back. So been with the PLL for a few years now. Had the opportunity to play for Team USA this past summer, where I won a gold medal, which was an awesome experience, and the pinnacle of the sport and everything that you dream of as a young kid to be playing for your country and winning a gold medal. So that was my best memory of playing lacrosse. And 2 summers ago won a championship with the Waterdogs as well. So these past few years has been pretty good for me in terms of winning some championships and things like that. But now down here and just growing the game of lacrosse and spreading my love and knowledge for it.
Yeah, I mean, you've checked almost all the boxes that you could imagine. I mean, Rookie of the Year 2014, as you mentioned, JJ, and then winning that gold medal and then the league championship in the PLL in 2022 with the Philadelphia Waterdogs, winning a championship in 2022 in this league. So, I mean, huge congratulations on the career that you have put together. As it starts to go towards winding down at this point in your career, what do you want to accomplish these last couple of years of playing in this league? And then from there, just as a lacrosse player, what do you want to accomplish moving forward as you go into these next few years of your life?
Yeah, for sure. It's, on field, it's winning more championships. It took me 9 professional seasons to win 1. And after winning 1, it makes me that much more hungry to get back and win some more. It's a special feeling, being the last team standing at the end of the day. So definitely more championships are something that I'm training every day for and working hard to attain. And then, as far as off the field, it's just spreading the game and continuing to grow the game. I think for myself, growing up on Long Island, every kid knows about the sport and basically plays the game. And moving down here 6 months ago, it's been cool to spread my knowledge and introduce the game to a lot of kids, and kids that have been playing, being able to coach them up the right way and really give them the tools and knowledge to be a great player. So in the 6 months I've been down here, it's already grown, and obviously it was already down here before me, and guys have done a good job of spreading the game before I came down here. But as I'm down here and living here full time and it embedded in Bluffton and Hilton Head area, it's pretty cool to see the growth, and these kids really share the passion for the game. So definitely got to get some more sticks in kids' hands and continue to grow it down here.
Yeah, I love to see what you guys are doing, because I think we had Brooks van Esselstyn in here a little bit ago. He checked in during halftime of his men's league game in Savannah. He's going to check back in after the game. We told him to get back in the game and come back in when it's over. But there's been kids like him. There's been kids who have come through. There are a number of kids who are playing at the next level from the area. But I think up until now, they've kind of had to like go find it, right? Like it hasn't really been here. There hasn't been enough depth here for them to be on a team of local kids that are all on their level. So they've had to go to Charleston or to Savannah or wherever. But I guess just go into a little more detail about kind of how you want to fill that void and create a space for local kids to stay local and produce some depth that's going to help all of our area's programs over time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's obviously huge for club lacrosse. I think having something in these guys' backyard where they don't have to travel 2.5 hours to a practice or to play, in some tournaments and things like that. I think being able to have that access, and I think a lot of it was, they were traveling to those areas for a little bit better coaching.
Right.
And, between myself and my friend Billy that moved down here and Tommy, who's been in the area for a long time,
Yeah.
and has done a great job. And, guys like Brooks and Andrew and Rob, that are, away at school and now coming back and helping out with the program. All guys that have college lacrosse experience and have been coached by, tremendous coaches throughout their time playing, are all here sharing the game. I just had another kid reach out to me today. His family moved to Hilton Head and he's a Division I player at Utah. So,
Nice.
It's just guys that, are in the area now, or, obviously having a huge influx of Northerners move down here, that know the game and are able to share it. So that was my main worry coming down here is, if I'm going to grow this thing, I want to have good coaches in place and good coaches, teaching these kids. And, I thought I was going to have some trouble finding that, but I honestly haven't. And it's been great, having the help, because I can't do this thing on my own.
You've been a part of this game for a while, as a child now, living out your dreams of playing professionally, which it is rare for anybody to achieve that goals, and no matter what sport it is. So, huge congratulations for, living out the career that you have. But I mean, just talk about how this sport has grown. You grew up in New York, in a place where lacrosse was very prominent, in the Northeast. But I mean, are you starting to see the game expand towards the southern areas of the country? I mean, we have in the PLL, we have the Carolina Chaos in Charlotte. Most of the teams are up in the
games are in Charlotte this weekend, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are off this weekend, and then you got 2 at home the following weekend.
Yeah, we're off this weekend. What's up, Peter? I saw you give a shout out to me. What's going on? One of my players.
We got Brooks back. Let's
all
get
right,
him
love
in here.
it.
What's up, Brooksy?
Hey, Andrew, Brooks.
Dromsky.
You boys got the
W.
Did
we get the dub, fellas?
We did get the dub. We did.
What was the stat
Nice.
lines? Let's get some stat lines.
Yeah, what's the stat line?
What are the stat lines, crap? I think Andrew had a couple assists. I think a goal, maybe. Yep.
Got to get those up.
Yeah,
boys.
but being past first play.
Love that mentality.
But fellas, we're just talking with Kieran McArdle here, obviously a guy that you've gotten to know a little bit, and I'd just love to hear from your perspective, just the opportunity you've had. Brooks told us a little bit earlier, but Andrew, the opportunity to come home for the summer from playing college lacrosse and spend it, on the right hip of a guy who's currently playing in the PLL. How cool is that?
I mean, I think it's a big blessing for all the kids down here for sure. And especially like for me and Brooks as well. I mean, he's been a great influence for us. I mean, we're always actively learning still in college. So his insight has helped a lot for like my personal game and Brooks's personal game as well. But I mean, moreover, just the kids and everything, learning how to play fast and everything. I think it's been a really good opportunity for everybody.
Well, at every level you advance in the sport, it's the game gets faster, it's more complicated, and you have to adjust and kind of. And this is a question that can be posed to everyone, but just how have you been managing to learn information and just absorb how to get better and learn from your peers as you move up in the ranks. And Brooks can start, but I'm sure everybody has their own, thoughts about how they've grown and evolved as a player as you get up to these higher levels of sport.
Yeah, I think me personally, I mean, Coach Kieran can test a little bit. I know every coach me can just be really annoying and ask a ton of questions. Like I'm gonna pick your brain. I'm gonna ask questions that maybe seem stupid, but it might be something as small as this new coach uses a different cue to teach this, and that can be something that I can think of in my head, or they have a different insight on why we do something. It might be the same thing, but maybe if we have a different reason, it can help open something else in my game. But just being super annoying, asking a ton of questions. I know Kieran can attest to it. I know Coach Kieran can attest to it. I definitely do it, but just be willing to be annoying just to learn, because it's your game you're trying to develop.
Yeah, back to that. I mean, I think just the ability of being coachable is also a big thing, especially for the younger kids that are trying to first start playing lacrosse. I think the ability to be coachable is the most important key. I mean, always asking questions, like Brooks said, but I definitely think being coachable is one of the biggest aspects of improving your game in lacrosse.
Yeah. There's got to be some humility and understanding that you don't actually know everything. There are people who know more than you. Kieran, anything to add to that?
No, I mean, even at the professional level, playing for 11 years, I'm still learning, right? Like, I come down here and, sometimes need to find a new way to teach something or to communicate to the players, because the way I've been teaching it, they might not understand it that way. So I think just, making sure I'm, doing better with my coaching and communicating to these players and making sure they're understanding the right way has been, a learning experience and made me a better coach.
I think it's safe to say that all of you guys, there has to be a certain love for the game to want to play it at a high level, even on the college level. Like, you got to love the game, but there's got to be a total different level of love for the game to want to then continue by passing it on to the next generation and coaching. There's got to be a really deep appreciation for it. So I guess speak a little bit to that, about why you're called to want to start a travel program and try to build it where it hasn't existed before.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, lacrosse is kind of all I've ever known. When I was younger, I just found so much happiness in picking up my stick and playing the game. It has taken me all over the country, made so many great friends and relationships, and all my best memories come from when I had a stick in my hand. So being able to kind of, pass that on to the next generation and inspire them and have them share that same happiness every time they pick up the stick is something that I love to do. So, moving forward and sharing those experiences. And, when we go to tournaments, and those are some of my best memories as a little kid playing lacrosse is going, wherever it was, Maryland, and traveling there and playing a bunch of games in the weekend and hanging out with your buddies at night and, winning some games and things like that. And those are some memories that are going to stick with my players for the rest of their life as well. So it's just been pretty cool to share that experience with them. And, I look forward to continuing.
Yep, that's great. That's the mentality you want to have. Not just, continuing to play the sport you love, but then give back to the next generation, because that takes another ultimate level of dedication and hunger within yourself. And you're certainly showing that. And gotta feel good. It's got to feel good for you, Brooks, to have somebody like that in your corner to help you improve as a player, and just see others in the professional ranks reaching out and helping you become a better player. So just your thoughts on the opportunities that you've been given to raise your ability out on the field.
Oh, I think it's amazing. I think my development as a player really started to skyrocket when I started coaching, because I had to we might do something, but when you actually understand why we do something, then it makes my understanding a lot greater, and if I can explain it, even greater in that regard. But I mean, having someone who knows so much more than I do, so I can, even yesterday I was doing some dodging stuff, and it was coaches, hey, at the college level, you probably should do this with footwork, because even Now my footwork's not perfect, and it never will. But people who know enough to teach me can always help me. And then when I see young guys make mistakes, even then I can like factor, okay, I shouldn't do that. I can learn from other people's mistakes, which I think is a huge thing for the young guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Little things matter, and they matter more the faster the game gets and the higher the level gets. I mean, and that's across all sports. I mean, same thing. I coach baseball. You know, it's the little things that you preached when you were 8 and 9 and they didn't really matter that much. When you're 13 and 14 and 15, they really matter. They make all the difference. And I'm sure it's the exact same in lacrosse, just those little details that kids probably think they're minutia, you know, that, oh, why do you care that I hold my stick exactly like that? Well, because when you get older, it's going to be a turnover every time you do. That's why.
Exactly.
But well, hey guys, great to talk with you, and really excited about what both of you are doing to help elevate the game that you love here in the Lowcountry, and we'll definitely stay in touch. But Kieran, you know, what's kind of the where we at in the season with the Rush? How are we standing so far, and what's coming up ahead that we need to keep our eyes on?
Yeah, so we're pretty much right smack in the middle right now. We have 4 tournaments throughout this summer. We've just finished up our second one. We're headed actually to Charlotte this weekend. It's a tournament that's paired with the PLL event. So
nice.
Our players will be going to PLL games and then playing in a tournament. You know, but super proud of our boys so far. You know, we've competed in some championships already. Unfortunately, haven't come home with some hardware yet, but looking to win one of these 2 tournaments coming up with some of our age groups. So awesome. Super excited about that. We got, you know, three teams kicked off right now, a 7th grade team, an 8th and 9th grade team, and then a 10th and 11th grade team. So a whole lot of talent out there, and looking to get some of these boys, you know, committed and playing at the next level.
Very good. Very good.
So I'm looking at the schedule here in terms of the PLL. Does it like rotate between these cities? It's like what they do.
Yeah, there's a host city each weekend. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's like I guess the best way to describe it is like a PGA Tour where all 8 teams go to one city. Actually, I guess 7 teams now because one team has a bye each weekend. And yeah, we all play at that venue that weekend.
Yeah, and the host plays each day. So yeah, it's kind of a cool setup. I kind of dig it. Like, you know, the World Tour thing. It's kind of like the Savannah Bananas, I guess, but PLL World Tour.
It's to get, you know, to grow the game and try to get into some non-traditional areas. And then, you know, we kind of locked into a city this year, and then eventually we'll be playing half our home games in that city. So pretty cool.
Very good. Very cool. Well, hey, thanks again, guys. And we'll definitely catch up with you real soon, but keep doing good work out there on the lacrosse field.
All right. Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks so much. Thanks so much to Kieran McArdle, as well as Brooks van Esselstyn and Andrew Dromsky with a surprise drop in. That was a pleasant surprise, but really excited about the growth of lacrosse in the area. I mean, when I got here in 2005, I was told, you know, lacrosse it's blowing up. It's blowing up. And it was, but it's been a kind of a slow build. It kind of got to a spot and then it kind of plateaued for a little bit. And now it feels like it's really starting to climb again. And I think here in a few years when the 7th and 8th and 9th and 10th and 11th graders that are playing travel right now are all in high school together, that's going to be pretty fun. Yeah. So definitely looking forward to that. But such a cool resource that our kids have. I mean, not only the kids who are playing for him, but the kids who are back from college who get to work with him and coach with him. That's incredible.
That's really cool. That's something that we haven't seen in the past. I mean, lacrosse as a sport, as we've covered it, we've seen kids from other sports try it in the spring, and now we're getting more people like this is their main sport. They're playing it year round, and you know that's how it's gotten to a point that we've seen that it's starting to become a game that has been recognized by these kids as something they want to pursue full time. And it doesn't happen without the coaches like Kieran and others to help elevate the game to a new level here in an area of the country where it was it's never been an attractive, like one of the top attractive sports, but I think that is starting to change. I don't think it'll eventually grow to the level as, say, football or basketball, but at the same time, it's a nice alternative to some of the other spring sports. And it's like a combination of basketball, soccer. I mean, there's just so many skills that you see from different sports that kind of play into it. It's a ton of fun to watch, and you have to be you have to have the athleticism, and it's fast paced. You have to have a really good communication skills. Just a good, a really fun sport to be a part of, and a great, opportunity for these kids to grow as people, as athletes, and maybe they find it's the sport that, and there's opportunities to hone their career further. I mean, we have a professional league now in this country. We have a good collegiate scene, both men and women.
Oh yeah,
we have world championships. So the opportunity is there if you are talented in the sport to make a career out of it, and at the very least become a talented player and leader at the sport where it can help transfer to whatever you do afterwards. So it's just a great opportunity, a fun sport, and every lacrosse player I meet is just super fun to be around. They have a passion for it. It's one of those sports where you really have to appreciate and love it for what it is. And it seems like all of these young men, young women just have an innate passion for it, and really fun to see.
Hey man, I don't yuck anybody's yum, as they say. Like if you enjoy it, go all out, man. Whatever it is, whatever sport it is, and I've definitely grown to appreciate lacrosse a lot more over the 20 or so years I've been here, especially as the level of play is elevated. I mean, that brings more appreciation as well. And I think across the state, you've seen it pretty consistently elevated, over the last couple of decades, to a point where, we're still not among the lacrosse powers by any means, but there are some really quality teams across South Carolina, and there are a lot more programs fielding teams, and we'll see it continue to grow. But hey, the varsity sponsors of Lowco Sports help keep us going. We got DDS Web Design, building, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they have jumped on to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Speaking of which, saw that Matt Gohagan is continuing to improve every day and getting close to getting out of there. So great to see. Continue to send best wishes to him. Dr. Ambrose Cole is our official chiropractor, and you can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton. He'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club is our official wrestling sponsor and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. You can check out our last episode from a couple weeks ago if you missed it, and we'll be coming back around here in a couple more weeks for another episode of the Lowco Grind. So I think we're going to get Zayo Estrada on that one. That's the plan. So looking forward to that. Mullis is going to be along shortly to share and tell with us a little bit. But here's another a new segment I want to pitch to you, and we can start prepping for it maybe on Friday. Of course, but maybe. So the premise here is that you come up with something that we all expect to happen. Of course, I don't know. Hilton Head Christian Academy is going to beat Hilton Head Prep in football. But maybe Hilton Head Prep had somebody move in. I mean, I'm just making one up. But you take an easy premise, and then you follow it up with a unlikely premise that could happen. You dig?
Yeah.
Right. We're going to put some thought into that for the next one. But we're sharing and telling. We're going to have Mullis come on and tell us about the wild regional at Clemson last weekend. He was up there, had a good time, and look ahead to this weekend, the Super. And there he is. There's Mullis, by golly. There he is, Ned Mullis. What's up, buddy?
You hear my neighbor with the daggone leaf blower outside?
We blowing the leaves at 9:40?
9:40.
Man, we are squeezing the daylight out of this one.
I guess. I don't know.
nighttime leaf blowing. No, we just got.
What are we doing?
We just got ready to do share and tell, and so we want you to share and tell us about a wild regional weekend up at Clemson. You had a good time up there, huh?
Fun stuff.
Great baseball.
Tarp crew.
Tarp crew. That's right.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna pull the tarp, boys.
his lanyard said tarp crew, but he wasn't going to be one of the ones pulling.
No, it's good, man. That place, it's a special place. I mean, they I don't know what it holds, what 7,500, 8,000, something like that. You know, and I mean, it was standing room only.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I really think the crowd affected that game some, especially early.
Yep.
And but it was when the outfielders dropped that ball. I mean, I know that was crowd related. But no, good. That's gonna be a barn burner up there this weekend.
Oh, it's gonna be raised to another level against Florida. That's a good Florida team too.
Yeah, so you got always be leery of that team that
peeks in there, but they underachieved all year. Yeah.
They got
like Kentucky basketball every year,
or like Ole Miss a couple years ago. Last in, last out. Ain't that what they called it? And
that's exactly what they called it.
And,
but how about the weekend for the former Davidson Wildcat Jacob Hindeleiter, who was undoubtedly the MVP of this regional? Just goes out there a casual 5 for 5 in that Saturday game against Coastal Carolina, and he comes back and picks up another multi-hit performance, 3 for 5. I mean, just outrageous the way he's swinging the bat right now. I saw a glimpse of it throughout his career at Davidson. I was not there for most of his career because I was graduated by that time, but I kept an eye on him. But man, is he seizing the moment or what in the NCAA tournament? Great to see that for him.
Well, you take guys like that too. Look, what's he played? 3 different positions this year. Played short, third, and first.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I mean, they're short. He's playing first base. Their shortstop goes down. He goes back and plays shortstop again. I mean, you can't. Yeah. That's the kind of guys that, if you're going to make a run and do it with injuries that Clemson's had, their first baseman's playing left field. Okay, that now their other first baseman's playing shortstop. Their backup right fielder's playing first base now. I mean, and every one of those guys. But I mean,
it don't usually work out when the first baseman moves to shortstop. That usually doesn't work out.
He's not your typical.
That's what I'm saying. That usually doesn't work out in your favor.
I think they were just finding him a spot. And he's a big – I mean, it's just going to be good this weekend. It's going to be good. But you can bet Florida's got arms.
Yeah.
Will was saying that Florida had arms, Oklahoma State could hit. So he felt like they had a much better shot.
St. George leading Ospreys 72 in the bottom of the 6th, but the Ospreys are threatening. These are your Legion baseball updates.
I was just reading
Charleston up 13-1 on Walterboro, so that's about to be final when it gets to final.
They're surging in Legion baseball over this state.
Yeah, there really is.
There's a lot of Legion baseball teams.
Yeah, that's
a ton.
Show out. Wofford was in the mix this year. Of course, big news from South Carolina is they relieved their head coach of his duties in Kingston.
Yeah.
So they're searching for a new coach. So that's another.
I don't think they're going to be searching long after Monty landed a big recruit today.
Citadel, Charleston Southern, Winthrop,
Francis Marion, Coastal.
Yeah.
Well, Coastal had a coach in waiting.
Yeah, but they're all still.
But that's 5. South Carolina 6.
Yep.
I mean, that is a lot. The Charleston Southern was really surprising to me.
Yeah, and that's interesting because we had guys committed there, right? Tyson's committed there. Was somebody else?
I think. But I mean, I thought those guys had done it. I thought he put a really good quote out that you want to leave one better than you got it. And he's left that thing better than he got it.
A lot better, yeah. No doubt.
But that AD hired him, so I thought that was a weird, I thought that was kind of a weird. But it'd be interesting. I think you'll see some movement in those coaching positions here pretty soon. The Sentinels.
28. I got 28 senior Legion teams across the state.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Awesome. It really is awesome.
13,
that's fantastic.
22, 27. There's a lot more junior teams. 3, 4. There's 46 junior teams. Goodness.
I think it's a pretty good deal.
I like it.
I don't think they play on weekends.
No, they go Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So that gives you, good. That keeps you pretty solid for the week, going into your travel tournaments.
That's right. Yeah. So, it's been a rough start for both the Lowco teams. That Charleston team, I think, is pretty much James Allen, right?
Yeah.
Well, the stock kid pitched tonight. He's James Allen for sure. And they've won the first two. But the Ospreys are hanging tough tonight. Gunner pitched tonight and kept them in it. Didn't pitch great, but he struck out 7.
Who's coaching that team?
The guy from Battery Creek, Stanley, I think is his last name. But I'm just glad that they got, 20 kids or so playing baseball this summer.
That's nice.
3 nights a week. That's a good deal.
I remember Wilson played Junior Legion over there one year in Beaufort. Yeah. So, I mean, that program's been around.
Yeah, well, it went down. It was around for like 20-some years, and then it died off in 2014, and this is the first year back. So it's good to have it back, and I hope they can keep it rolling. Love to get our boys to play Legion one of these summers real soon. But
that was the best. Legion baseball, I still say, was the best.
Everybody who ever played it says it was the best, the most fun they ever had playing baseball.
I didn't play it, but I just remember watching it as a kid when they had it in the Hilton High, their field.
But they didn't. Now, I'm so old, they didn't really have a whole lot of travel baseball back then, but Legion baseball was a big deal.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
There was some quality pass playing there.
Yeah. Here's something I wanted to share. Alex Percival, who was our guest the other night, founder of the Lowcountry Legacy Alumni Basketball Tournament, also the co-founder of a new organization called Beyond the Court. They're going to be doing very similar things to some of the things that we're planning with the One Lowco Foundation, working with student athletes to help them, realize how to leverage their abilities into opportunities, educational and otherwise, that are going to help them, when their careers are over as athletes, to either stay involved in sports or just find ways to make a living in the game, those kinds of things. So love to see that kind of thing. Love working with Alex, and really excited for that basketball tournament in July. It's going to be a blast. But, Mullis, what's up, buddy? You got anything else you want to talk about? You always got a lot to talk about. What you got, Wes?
Yeah. Well, we got the start of some youth all-star tournaments coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have the
6 and under all-stars this weekend, Mullis, at Oscar Frazier. The most adorable baseball you've ever seen.
Get ready for something viral.
Oh,
you never know what to expect.
Somebody's going the wrong way. Something's going to happen.
Somebody turns into a dinosaur after they hit it. You guys see that one?
Good.
Have you guys seen that one on Instagram?
There'll be some alligators out there.
The little boy playing t-ball, and he hits it, and he starts running to first, and after like 3 steps, he goes into a dinosaur stomp, and it's like rah, 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 all the way to first.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I think the Bananas have had an influence on these kids, just because that's what they're watching now, right? I mean, that's a lot of these.
Oh, no question.
Yeah,
I don't know how far we want him to take that. We don't need him trying to do trick plays out there. I'm going to strangle a child if he tries to play one between his legs on a routine ground ball or catch a fly ball.
This is one of the regional tournaments or whatever. This ain't one of the big ones.
No, this is the district first, and it's only 3 teams.
I think we talked about it last time. Didn't I tell y'all about all the damn road signs like Pedro going up to Orangeburg?
Oh yeah, Orangeburg. Yeah, we talked about Orangeburg hosting the.
Holy cow! They spent their advertising budget on highway signs. Now, I mean, just think about this, guys. You're going 95 north back home, and you're going to whip in to watch the Dixie Youth World Series in Orangeburg. I could have saved them some money on them signs, I think.
Yeah. About that.
Oh,
maybe buy some extra turfus when it rains. How about that?
There you go. Yeah, I can't imagine making it to the World Series and then pulling up to Orangeburg. I still can't imagine that. But
and they got like 3 of them. I mean, it ain't just one sign.
So we got 2 Bluffton teams and a Beaufort team in the Rookie League All-Stars, the 6 and under All-Stars. So one of them is going to go on to state. So, and then the following weekend, we get the 10 and under softball, which is just Beaufort, Bluffton, and Colleton. So that's what we get at Oscar Frazier. And then I have some other brackets for other upcoming tournaments, but we'll get to those when we get to them. What else? Anything else, boys?
I just got off StubHub a minute ago looking at tickets for the Clemson Regional this weekend.
Oh, yeah. How much?
There was one general admission ticket for $400.
Oh, boy. That's
$400.
Was that on like the secondary market, or was that the?
Oh yeah, StubHub. I mean, I guess that's secondary.
Right.
That's only half of what I dropped on cat dental care today. That's a racket. That's a racket.
Yeah,
I got real dental care tomorrow.
Well, I hope it don't cost as much as it does to get a cat.
We'll see how that goes.
Apparently, my cat's down about 6 teeth too, so I don't know how that's going to work out for her, but we'll see. Yeah. I did have one other thing. We had a little golf today. The South Carolina Junior Golf Association Upstate Junior Classic at Smithfields. You ever played there, Moles? Smithfields? I don't know where that is. But first round was today. We got a couple Lowco guys are in the mix. JP Reed's tied for 3rd at -1. Landry Williams is 6th at +1. Leader is at -3. That's Jamin Sanders from Goose Creek. He's one ahead of Blake Bocelli from Mount Pleasant. So
catching a lot of those tournaments right now. They're hitting their stride right now.
Oh yeah, they got them about every week through the summer. They'll be getting after it, and they're getting into kind of the majors, like a stretch of the majors championships. So this is one of them. So we'll keep tabs on that. We'll definitely have Lowco guys. We got 2 going to the junior AM. We talked about Jeep Patrick. He got the 4th spot in a playoff, 4-way playoff for the 4th and final spot at Cat Island the other day. So he's going to junior AM at Oakland Hills. And then Bridget Wilkie, she was medalist at a qualifier in Indiana at Indiana University. So she's going to California for girls junior.
My cousin, cool. My cousin used to live in Beaufort. He worked for Coca-Cola, and his favorite saying in golf was, "There's no worse feeling than driving by Secession to go pay to play Cat Island." No offense, Cat Island.
To be fair, Cat Island is a fun little track. It's a fun little track. It's really fun. But Secession's like world class.
And you're not paying, you're always on somebody else's dime at Secession. You're on a member's dime, and it's like there's no worse feeling.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Drive right by.
Rubbernecking it as you go by, looking at the green.
I tell you what, man, we used to play one of the most fun golf tournaments I've ever played in, outside of when Patrick Henry had the best fundraiser in the history of fundraisers at Penny Branch. But the Cat Island used to have a Super Bowl golf tournament.
Yeah,
but they made every hole a par 3. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it was a captain's choice, but every hole, even if it was a par 5, they had it made into a par 3.
Like
And
they had a tee box set up to play it as a
oh
part
my
three.
gosh, it was so much fun. No telling where you were going. You know, one hole be 150 yards, one hole be about 50 yards. You know, I think you had to hit one over a parking lot. I mean, it was fun stuff. Cat eye, I mean, that was a thing, you know, you just don't see quite that the imagination in the golf that you used to.
Right. Yeah.
Like the best golf in Charleston is every Monday night at the Municipal, the Monday Night Blitz.
The Muni.
Pick your own team, starts at $5 It's like $40.
Yeah.
I saw Dan Marino playing in that thing one night.
Really?
Oh yeah, Bill Murray plays in it all the time. You'll see Rucker in there. You know, you play eightsomes.
Eightsomes.
Wow.
Well, you can't cheat that way. You know, I mean,
yeah,
it's $40. You get a steak. I mean, it's fun.
Ooh.
The Muni Blitz. I mean, you have to call like a couple days in advance to get into it. But you know, Muni.
You know what I want to do? You know what we need to do? We need to go. Oh shoot! It already happened. Never mind. They already did the first one, but I think they got more coming up. I want to go see one of these cosmic baseball games in Colonial Heights, Virginia.
Oh, I saw that.
Where was that?
Right.
Yeah.
The Tri-City Chili Peppers.
Holy crap. You mean somebody beat the Bananas to something?
Yeah. Oh, that's way too loud. But have you guys seen this?
Yeah, it looks great.
Oh, the other day.
It looks incredible. Glow in the dark baseball.
Wow.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I want to play it. Well,
you know, somewhere, what's the guy down in Savannah? He's like, really? Y'all are really somebody outdid, you know that somebody
he might have fired some people in was going to be. You know, there's gonna be somebody.
Yeah, it is stunning that somebody beat the Bananas to this. You're right. Yeah. It really is.
He's got the marketing.
Like, did they actually buy this team and we just haven't figured it out yet? Like, the shell company bought it or
Bananas
something?
written all over it. You know,
right? It feels impossible that the Bananas were not at least somehow involved in this. But I want to see it so bad, man. Like, it would be amazing to watch.
I'm not sure I want to play it.
People will pay.
I don't either, because I've seen guys get hit by line drives in broad daylight. So, like, I don't know, man. It would be trippy watching that glowing orb coming at you in the dark. It'd be interesting. Take a little adjustment, I would think.
Yeah.
But should be fun.
I'll do a little research this week. Start getting we'll have a little bit more to go on next week with our guys. We'll start getting a list of who's playing in summers. You know, James Lehman will be going somewhere.
I do know. I did hear from Paul Winland, who is going to try to get on the show as soon as we're able to get it coordinated. Maybe Friday night.
He should have another year left.
He does, and he plans to go back to Georgia Gwinnett, but he's going to the Valley this summer.
Is he playing for Newmarket again?
No, he's playing for the Harrisonburg Turks.
Oh.
He's heading out this weekend to go play for the Harrisonburg Turks in the Valley.
He was a Newmarket Rebel.
Newmarket Rebel?
Yeah. Paul played for him 1 year.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
it's a good league, right?
I can't remember all. Front Royal, Newmarket, Harrisonburg. Shenandoah Valley. Pretty good baseball.
It's a good league. When I was at USCB, we had guys play up there.
Coastal Plains League
pretty frequently.
Yeah.
The Coastal Plains League hurt it a lot.
Right.
A lot of the guys that would go, like, there wasn't, you know, there used to be 3 big summer leagues. You had one in Alaska, you had the Cape, and you had the Island.
Yep.
And but you got Cape Cod League. You know, it still has its shoulders. But
that's
Darren's going to pitch there, so you'll have Darren Horn back up there. I think James might be a Valley League team. I'll find out tonight from Paige.
He played out in Nebraska last year, right?
Yeah, but he's on the East Coast this time, and she said somewhere up near DC. So that's probably a Valley League team. I'm trying to think of who else. Bennett's hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have we got anybody else?
I'm not sure. I really don't know.
We'll have to check in with some of those Hilton Head guys.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know about like Richardson, those guys, if they're still playing. You know, like I don't know who's doing what in the summer.
Yeah.
It's so hard to keep up with kids nowadays with the portal and all this. Like,
oh my goodness,
just you know where they start, but then they just disappear, and it's hard to find them again. And then they pop back up. Like, oh, there they are.
I saw it today. I saw the thing today. 4,000 kids in
Wow. They have a portal team, like portal national team of just guys who are in the portal.
Did you see that today?
Barnstorming. Yeah.
Did you see all the coaches that were there?
Yeah. Everybody and their brother. They're like, yeah, we're not really recruiting high school children anymore. We have access to 4,000 college baseball players. And we can just go pick and choose.
I saw Wake Forest was there. Wake Forest's head coach was there.
I feel like there's going to have to be some kind of little cottage industry pop up where like the prep school market just explodes. Because like, what are all these kids going to do? Like, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's getting crazy fast.
Well, all right, let's take your rank and file high school kid. Okay. How many at bats does he get against true, real deal front line pitching?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't get many at all. It's a short season.
15, 20 a year, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a really short season.
I'm talking about college arms. You're going to see a true college arm. You might not see that many. You might see 12 at bats, you know, off the real, somebody you know is going somewhere. Well, it's hard for a college coach to make a determination off of that, you know, because can you handle velo? Can you handle? And that's why summer ball is so important, because you're going to see, you know, a little bit better arms more consistently.
Right.
But you take a kid like Paul, you know he's seeing good stuff at Georgia Gwinnett.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go in there and look and see. I mean, it ain't hard to find, you know, the velo of what he just faced the night before.
Well, there's people in the portal with absolutely absurd stats and skill sets, like just crazy good players out there. So, I mean, why would you get 11.7? Why are you going to use part of one on a high school kid that's a project when you can go get a dude who you
that
know what he is?
11.7, I think the 11.7 is back gone, ain't it?
I mean, how can you even enforce any scholarship limits at this point?
I don't think you
we're
can
doing this whole winking and nod NIL thing. Like,
I don't think you can anymore.
I don't either. It's the Wild West.
And, you know, the other thing is
what counts as a scholarship versus NIL, you know, like how's it any different?
That's what we were talking about Vandy over the weekend. You know, Vandy used to recruit, Vandy was going after a certain type player. And they were going up against basically one other school. It was either Stanford was going to get them or Vandy was
or maybe Baylor might be in the mix, or Rice or somebody, but not many.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But now you throw Duke into the mix. You throw Wake Forest into the mix. You know, Vanderbilt was getting every good Northern kid that was smart, you know, Leiter's kid, you know, stuff like that. You know, those guys were all coming straight pipelining straight to Vandy. Well, you know, I can sell Duke against Vandy if I'm a recruiter. I can sell Wake against Vandy. And, you know, so you take a lot of their depth out, and it's at Duke. It's at Wake Forest. It's at, you know, it's just a different animal out there right now.
Yeah. And it's going to keep.
And those three schools right there, they're not working on 11.7.
No.
They're working on 35 because they can give all the academic money they want.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas Clemson has got to work off the Palmetto scholarship and in-state, out-state. You know, that's all they can do. They can't give you any more academic money than the Palmetto scholarship.
Yeah.
Really? Interesting.
I mean, you can get into the governor's school or something like that, You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not. Yeah. They can't give you special money,
but they can't. Well, they can't do the funny money, the monopoly money thing like the private schools can. No. The private schools can do the monopoly money thing where we're just going to discount your tuition by half.
No, that's not
$30,000 just went away. But that doesn't happen at your state schools. So, no. And that's an important thing for people to understand too. Like, don't get caught up in the number. You know, like if somebody's telling you, we're going to give you a $30,000 scholarship. Well, if the school costs $50,000 a year, you're still on the hook for 20, you know, still like 20. Let's talk about the bottom line here and leveraging the situation to the best situation. So,
and that was another
what's
thing.
What's that degree worth? It depends on the school.
You and I, what did I text you earlier? Catawba's playing Tampa for the D2. Is it D2 D3? D2?
Catawba's D2.
Did you see that roster?
You told me about it.
Only two players out of state for Catawba. Everybody else was in about an hour and a half radius of Salisbury. And let me tell you where they play really good baseball. Right around that area. That triad of North Carolina. You watch NC State. You watch North Carolina this weekend. A lot of players from right in that area right there. Okay. Will Myers, over at Chichessie now. Right there.
Wait, Chichessie?
Or whatever. Yeah, I think he bought a house over there. But
Will Myers did?
I believe
the
so.
Old Padres and Royals guy?
Mm-hmm. And then but the I'm not going to call out any names, but there's a certain school right here that they play really good baseball about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
You draw a 2-hour radius around this place. You got some pretty dang good.
You can lasso a bunch of Charleston kids and a bunch of West Ashley kids and a bunch of Somerville kids. Throw them in with some May River kids and some Hilton Head and some Buford kids. And all the
Greenville kids and
damn good baseball team.
A couple Greenville kids and a few Savannah kids and a few Brunswick kids and a couple Richmond Hill kids and a couple Statesburg kids.
Or you can continue trying to win 10 a year.
It's a fair. It
seems like they're doing it right up the road.
Yeah,
4.5 hours up the road to Salisbury.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about this before, you and I, and this isn't to single out any program. It's just in general. If you want to if you're in a place where you get some dudes every now and then in your sport, you better recruit some borderline kids along the way from your area, or you're not going to get the dude who comes through. You got no chance.
Or
like if you're recruiting kids regularly, if some of his old teammates are there and you've shown that you're going to recruit locally, then, maybe you got a shot. But if you've never recruited anybody from that school and all of a sudden they got a dude, they ain't sending him there.
Well, how about you get the portal guy from North Carolina? Maybe want to come home.
From Wade Hampton?
Well, I don't think.
Oh, you meant Cooper George.
I'm just talking about anybody.
In general. Yeah.
If you're
local guy who's in the portal, you should be all over that.
And the guys at North Carolina, he's not getting any playing time, or he's not getting playing time in North Carolina, but he's from Salisbury. He'll come home because it's a viable option.
Right.
Paul Windland shouldn't be having to go to Georgia to play baseball.
I know. He shouldn't be playing for one of their rivals. I agree. He should be playing here.
If he's good enough to play for them, he's good enough to play for us.
Yep. Amen.
And but like I said, we just have a difference of opinion on some recruiting, but
indeed, differences of opinion are what make this show go round. So we appreciate you jumping on tonight. Let's shout out our last round of sponsors, and then we'll have our parting shots and call it a night. The Lowco Booster Club supports us, so please support them. We got Court Lifestyle Pros in the family, Charter One Realty, Daniel and Debbie Court, the Lowco natives who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Revive Rehab, Women's Health and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. We got Dr. Ali and Dr. Jen who want to help new moms get back on their feet and feeling great again. Eagle Creations is over on Argent Boulevard. They got a great showroom where you can go see all their promotional items and custom apparel and all the great things they can do for you over there. They got awards, trophies, all kinds of cool stuff. Heads on Sticks. You can get those there if you want to embarrass your child in public. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. If you can go in there for the great conversation, come out with a great style at Jay's Barbershop. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, floors so clean your feet will thank you, from Chris Odom and the crew. Call on them if you got dirty floors. And finally, our newest sponsor, keep forgetting to add them, but they're currently the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus with Curry Kirkpatrick, Rich Basirico, and Bob Stevens. Hudson's Seafood on the docks. Get down to Hudson's for a sunset. You like sitting out on the dock. It's Hudson's.
Best sandwich around, the oyster po' boy.
Oyster po' boy. I'm more of a shrimp guy than an oyster guy, but I do appreciate it.
What's the owner of that place? What's his name?
Andrew Carmines.
Get it Andrew's way.
Okay.
Order it Andrew's way.
He's good people, man.
I'm just telling you, they got a sandwich. Order it Andrew's way.
All right. What's that entail, Andrew's way? What do they put on it?
They get bread from Publix, I think, but they hollow out the hoagie bun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not so thick, much. Yeah,
and it's just lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise. Man, it's good.
Yeah, I'm into that. I'm
I'm going to get one of those tomorrow.
Talk yourself into it. Those are our Lowco Booster Club sponsors. We appreciate them.
You just sold one.
Yeah, we're doing work over here. Make sure you let them know that you came just because you heard them on the LowcoSports Lowdown. But anyway, parting thoughts, fellas. Mullis, what do you got to leave us with?
Don't anybody. I love everybody. If I have a chance to help y'all out with tickets, I will. But I do not have any tickets this weekend. I don't. So don't anybody else call.
He had a request. He had a request.
I had more than one, but I had one for 4 tickets.
He just told us there's one available going for $400 on StubHub. So you're asking for $1,600 free dollars, buddy.
I got nothing, guys. I wish I did.
He's got a tarp crew.
I got one standing room only, and that's me, and that's a tarp crew situation.
He's got a tarp crew lanyard that if it gets raining, he might actually get drafted into action.
I don't even have a seat. But they are good seats, though. I'm on the rail.
All right. You can't complain. But there are no extras.
I don't even know if I'm going to go up this weekend. I don't even want to jinx it. I want to knock on wood. I kind of want to, just in case I have to.
Yeah, 3 weekends in a row is tough. You kind of need to take that middle one off just in case, right?
And that one might be extended stay.
Right. Yeah.
So this is turning into travel ball again. But man, when your son's up there, your kid's up there, and you're in the middle of it, you got to kind of do it. And
Melissa's never been to Omaha for the College World Series, so.
Watched it about every year, but I've never been.
I've never been either. I'd love to get up there. I would have loved to.
18 hours from Bluffton.
I would have loved to have taken the kids to play in that Slump Buster tournament one time.
I think Eddie's doing it.
He is. Eddie's taking them. That sounds like a lot of fun, man.
That to me, good job.
Speaking of which, did you hear what McArdle's doing this weekend, Kieran, with the Lowcountry Rush? They're going to play a tournament in Charlotte, which is where the Premier Lacrosse League is this weekend. So they get to go see pro lacrosse and play in the tournament up there. That's a great weekend.
Where do they play that in the Panthers, or where do they play?
I reckon they play at a different city every weekend.
The Panthers, I'm gonna
the Bananas are going to play at Bank of America.
They're also playing at Fenway, aren't they?
Play where the Panthers play.
I guess so. But what'd you say? They're playing at Fenway?
No.
Yeah, I was just piggybacking on what you were saying with Charlotte Bank of America Stadium. I'm excited because they are going to do some renovations from what I saw recently on social media, that they're going to enhance the experience over there for Bank of America Stadium.
Now that was just put out there.
Yeah,
renderings,
renovations.
That's not a done deal.
Yeah,
not a done deal.
Yeah,
just
that is something that they're working on. But
would you like to know the last? Would you like to know the last?
The ballpark is nice too. Yeah, the ballpark is nice too. The BB&T, or actually, I don't know. I think it goes by a different name now.
I can't keep
but
track of all that.
Yeah,
Oh, you talking about the minor league park? Minor league park's amazing. I was just up there a couple of weeks ago.
Fun fact: I got to call a game there for Davidson. They played a game there against, I believe it was Winthrop many years ago.
Nice.
I was there. I got to call the game.
Another team looking for a new coach.
Yeah. What were you saying, Mose? Fun fact?
The last team that tried to kind of remember the old owner of the Charlotte Hornets back in the day tried to kind of, he really was pushing Charlotte for a lot of money, new stadium, the whole 9 yards.
And the Hornets pieced them out.
Yeah, and went to there's a lot of people that think Pepper's trying to do that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that guy is not a popular owner.
He's not invested in winning, from what I've heard. I mean,
he's a tool.
Financially, he's built on the financial side of it, but he is not putting in the effort that it takes to commit to building a winning organization. It's been that way throughout his tenure here.
I kind of love how fans are rebelling against these owners, these idiot owners. Like, like even my Chiefs, they tried to push through that tax thing, and Kansas City was like, no, this is half cooked and stupid. We're not going to vote for this. And then the Raiders or the A's, they're just like, look, this is a joke. We're not going to keep doing this anymore.
There's a piece of me where what's the NFL worth?
Right.
Or what are they? I mean, what are these TV deals worth? You finance
hundreds of billions of dollars. Yeah. I mean, come on. You want us to pay for a stadium?
You're right.
And then you're going to charge us $1 billion to park at it when we come to a game? No.
Hey, Roger Goodell,
that they're going to put in the schedule sooner rather than later.
Yeah, are we getting dividends? Are we getting dividends on the profits?
Yeah, I mean, you want to give them tax breaks, that's on your own. But, don't be floating this money out there in bonds and shit to build these stadiums.
Oh, we need a new stadium. Ours is 20 years old. Shut up.
But that being said, if they wanted to build a minor league stadium over here in Bluffton somewhere, I'd probably vote for it.
Well, 100% I would. But that's a different deal. Like most of these we're talking about places that have stadiums.
I know.
And they're still holding them hostage
to
get a new
game at the Panther Stadium. You gonna tell me you need something better than that?
No,
you don't need
20 years old.
I mean, we just went down to Jacksonville this year. It was awesome.
Yeah. Like, it's just insane. All the best stadiums in sports are the oldest ones anyway. Why are we tearing them down before they have a chance to get good?
I mean,
now that new one in Tampa Bay they're going to build looks amazing, though, if they get that.
Well, and then you know what everybody's wanting to do? They're all trying to build the Braves thing.
I know. That's it. They're all trying to build a little self-contained city around it where they have a license to print money.
Where they have everything. They own the hotels. They own
the license to print money. They're like, hey, if you guys loan us this $400 billion, we'll make it back in no time. We'll keep it, but we'll make it back in no time.
Yeah. All right, we will call it tonight.
I think we've done enough damage, boys. Let's call it a night. It was a great show tonight. Appreciate Kieran McArdle making time in his busy schedule, traveling all over the country to play lacrosse and coaching lacrosse here in the Loco. Good stuff. Brooks van Esselstyn. We had Brooks van Esselstyn and Andrew Dromsky on earlier, Mois. They jumped on from the middle of their men's league lacrosse game in Savannah. So that was great. Good to catch up with those guys and see them doing well.
1 year.
Yeah, she had him wrapped around her finger, right?
I just remember.
Or was that a different one? That might have been a different one.
I remember a prom picture with Andrew Dromsky one.
Dromsky's a good kid, man. He's a good kid. But no, it's good to talk with them as well as Kieran McArdle. Thanks to Mullis for jumping on to talk about baseball and a little bit of everything else with us. That's always the best stuff we do on here when we get off topic. But we'll be back Friday night for another Lowdown. And then I believe Sunday night we're trying to get together another Loco Diamond Dude. So we'll have to get you back in here.
I'll be good.
Ball. Sunday night be a good night for it, right? So
If
we'll
I
see
go,
you
I'm
Friday
going
for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. We'll see you Sunday for the Lowco Diamond Dudes. But that does it for tonight. For Ned Mullis and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco.
See you guys.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.